Hey, what up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Mayday Mayhem. And I am your host, Mayday Mayhem. And if you did not know, I know it's been nationwide news. I know it has. I know y'all been talking about it because I've been talking about it. And I've been trying to stop laughing so damn hard. But then I have to laugh to keep from crying because the seriousness of what happened in this situation. And if you don't know, we talked about Jussie Smollett, y'all. Yes, child. Yes, boo. Now, if you did not know, Jussie Smollett had his sentencing, right? And oh, what a sentencing it was, is all I can say. Now, we do know Jussie Smollett. Let me just bring it up on the screen while I'm talking to y'all. I'm Shans. Now, we all know Jussie Smollett was found guilty on 5 accounts of, disorderly conduct for actually sending out the whole militia of Chicago to look for a person that did not exist. And the funny part is the reaction. It's like, how can you react like this when you know you're guilty? Excuse me. And then the sad part is 2 young men almost went to jail, could have potentially got deported, and then potentially been harmed or maimed because where they're from, being openly gay or slightly gay or just a little bit tad gay may get you killed. So that's the seriousness of it. And the judge breaks it down even more about the seriousness of this. Now, excuse me, if you don't remember, take a sip of my coffee, y'all. You don't remember back here in 2000 and what was that, 2019? Yeah, it was about 2019 January. Now, if y'all didn't know, the day Jussie Smollett did this, it was right before Black History Month. I'll never forget it. Never forget. But it's always some bullshit happening before Black History Month. I'm just putting it out there. But he said that he had just got off of a flight from New York to Chicago. Now, mind you, the day that he came into Chicago, we were in a polar vortex. You ever seen that movie, The Day After Tomorrow? You know how everything froze? That's how Chicago looked. It was so cold here. Excuse me. I'm taking a sip of this coffee, y'all. They playing this morning. It was so cold here, excuse me, that people were taking hot water and heating it up and throwing it outside because no soon it went outside, it like evaporated into dust. Some people actually got burned doing that shit. They really did here in Chicago. It's a real thing. It really did happen. I was not one of those that got burnt. I did not get burnt, but I did do it with my children. I didn't get no steeping, boiling hot cup of water, but I threw the water out there like, oh, look, miss children. So it was just that cold here. It was just that cold. And he decides to, at this time, fake a hate crime. Do y'all understand? It was so cold here that they told people, if you got a dog, you bet not have that dog outside or we taking your arse to jail. That's how cold it was here. Pets were safe that day. Everybody was safe. It was so cold that they literally shut down the city and told people, if you did not have a reason to be outside, excuse me, like a medical emergency or something of that nature, you ain't got no business outside. That's how cold it was. And he orchestrated a plan. And it wasn't a plan that, like the judge even stated, it wasn't a opportunity. It wasn't a, oh, your car is running, so we're going to steal your car. It wasn't one of those. He actually premeditated a hate crime, told the brothers what to told them what to get red hats and all. It almost was to incite a racial crime, if you ask me. If it was recite, because it was putting two races against each other, which we already have enough of that shit, yo. Especially here in Chicago. All of Illinois. We got enough of that shit here. We don't need nobody putting no extra frosting on it. And you know how bad it is. And the kicker that even the judge brought up, and of course, I'm going to link the full video below. It's very long. I listened to it, excuse me, all day while I was driving, all the way to picking up kids, all the way to back home. I listened to the whole thing. It was they had two breaks. Now, this is the sentencing phase. He's already been found guilty. He is now a class 4 felon. He's now a class 4 felon. No joke. He really is. So that comes with a crime. Excuse me, y'all. This morning. That comes with penalties. You know, so often, especially here in Chicago, Cook County, the laws are strict, but it's more criminals on the street. Just like right now, there is a Chicago strangler walking around here in Chicago. There are multiple serial killers in Chicago, not one, multiple. And I bet once they are found, you look back at their background, they was probably supposed to have been in jail a long time ago. We see it far too often. In Jussie Smollett's case, though, he comes from a family of quote unquote freedom fighters. His mom is Black. His father is Jewish. So he's mixed race and mixed culture. Excuse me. He's mixed race and mixed culture. Just like the Jewish community, you know, they understand the hardship and sacrifice and trauma that went with the Holocaust. As Black people understand the hardship and everything and the demoralization of Black people due to slavery here in America. So he actually has it on both sides where, you know, your mama saw it sad, knows how it is to be defiled and treated differently because of their race. Your father knows how it is to be defiled on and treated differently because your race. And here you are, a mixed baby, excuse me, born in this time where it shouldn't be, honestly, in 2022, we shouldn't have any racism, but it's heavily prominent here, and especially in Illinois, heavily racist people, not all, but some. I ain't gonna say all of them, but some. And here you go, spewing a hate crime that you know people have died because they've been gay. And he's also an openly gay man, openly gay, multicultural, multiracial gay man. Now, you fit that whole criteria of you should know, as I know from being Black and know from seeing actual hate crimes against straight people, gay people, Black people, white people. I've seen it with my own eyes. You've seen, and your parents have taught you this, and yet you go to promote a hate crime. Are you fucking for real? You can't be. You can't be serious. So that go along with his sentencing. Now, he could have. Now let's put on the table what he could have gotten. He could have gotten 1 to 3 years behind bars. Okay? He could have gotten that. But the judge, excuse me, what I say is lenient. Very fucking lenient if you ask me. Excuse my French. Parlez-vous français? But very lenient if you ask me. You only got 30 months of pretty much being watched under arrest and all that other shit. You got to pay a fine of $120,000 to Chicago. But you also have to serve 5 months in the Cook County jail. Now, when he heard this, I'm going to show it to y'all. He jumped up, had a fit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No. But to be honest, he actually got off pretty motherfucking nice, if you ask me. You use manpower that we don't even get for these missing women and children out here that you got exclusively because you're an actor, who your parents was, what your background was. You got it firsthand. When we can't even get the help of finding these 55 plus missing women that's out here in Chicago that's been missing for 20 years. But you got the help in less than 24 hours. And come to find out, you orchestrated this, you planned it out, you scripted it out, and now you want us to let you, no jail time. No jail time. No jail time. No, your ass do need to learn a lesson. Because even the judge points out his arrogance. You know, if you've been caught in some shit, you know what I'm saying? Just say you've been caught in some shit. Just let it go. You know, you take that L and go. He steady got up on the stand and he perjured himself over and over and over and over again. And then, like I said, you could have sent 2 boys, 2 men to jail, had them deported and potentially harmed in their own country for a lie that everyone in Chicago, if you're from Chicago, and if you was in Chicago, and you know how the story never sound right. Even the judge states comedians make fun of you. They do. I be out there. They do. He is the butt of all jokes. I don't want to pull a Smollett. It's the truth. And yes, that's going to carry him longer than the sentence is. However, your ass need to learn a lesson. Stop lying. My question is, what other people have you potentially lied on or got in trouble for some shit that they really didn't even do? Let's be real. Now I'm going to say allegedly, because I don't know. I ain't them people. But if you would go to this length to fake a crime, what else would you do? That's just my question. Like, yo, what else would you do? Allegedly, what else have you lied about? But let's take a little listen real quick. Okay, let's just take a little listen.
Trouble, they get caught, and here they are. But then there are crimes of premeditation, Mr. Smollett. That's what you are all about here. Crime of premeditation. You did wake up in the morning thinking you were going to do something bad and something wrong. And I know more today about this than I ever did before, that there are some wonderful things about you. And I know how people...
And see, the judge even says it's some wonderful things about him.
They cherish your relationships and they cherish the good works that you've done. And they love you sincerely and deeply. And they're not faking, they're not lying when they talk to me about their feelings about you and the good things that you've done. But you had that dark side. And this is what happened here. You premeditated this case to an extreme that's amazing. You wrote a script. The script involved words. You're going to encounter me on the street, yell out empire, N-word, F-word. You're going to hit me. You're going to beat me up. You're going to put bleach on me. You're going to put a noose around my neck. That's a script that you wrote. Now, it's not a good script, especially for Streeterville in Chicago. It's questionable, but it's a script that you wrote. You picked out the actors. You chose the Ocean-Darrow brothers. And why did you do that? Because you knew them. You trusted them. They idolized you. You're an established actor in a serious television production of Empire. They were kind of hangers on there. They're trying to get jobs as extras, maybe a little speaking part here and there, but you were mentoring them. You were helping them. They wanted your advice. They would do anything for you. They thought you were one of the greatest people in the world to know and that you could help them in their careers. They're in great shape. They gave you a little advice about diet and exercise, but they idolized you and they would have done anything for you. And you chose them because you knew that you could trust them, that they were loyal to you. You paid them in advance by check. Not necessarily a good idea, but it was your idea. It was part of the plan that you would pay them in advance. And the check was out there. The check was shown into evidence. That was part of your premeditation. You chose a date. You chose a time. You chose a location. You had props procured. You gave them a $100 bill and had them get the supplies. What are the supplies in this case? Get masks. Nobody should see you. We're going to say that.
Now you see the judge is giving the reasons why he's about to give the sentence that he gives. He's giving the reason why.
You're white, but obviously the Ocean-Darrow brothers are not white. We're going to cover your faces in masks. We're going to have a red hat because that's going to indicate MAGA country. We're going to get a rope that we're going to use as a noose. We're going to procure some bleach. You're going to have the supplies. And then you had all that together, and then you did rehearsals. You picked them up and you did drive-bys. You drove around and around the block. You picked them up in Lakeview in their neighborhood, and some distance away you went to Streeterville where you were living, and you showed them. You're going here, you're going there, and you're going over the lines. You're going over the script with them so they would memorize the script. You're indicating which brother. You're the one that's going to hit me. You're the one that's going to put the noose around my neck and pour the bleach on me. This was planned. This was premeditated to the extreme. And I find that your extreme premeditation in this case is an aggravating factor today.
Now y'all heard him. The extreme aggravating factor is that you lied. You lied. That's the premeditating factor, is that you lied. The whole thing is that he lied. He should not have lied about what happened. He shouldn't have lied. That's the whole thing. He shouldn't have lied. So here we go back to the sentencing. Oh Lord, I lost it. There we go. And I'm going to fast forward up a little bit so you can see the actual sentencing phase part.
I only want to use the word forgive because forgiveness is necessary. They're with you so much. They're so tight-knit. But you have to live with the fact that you really put them through a ringer. You've embarrassed your valuable friends in high places, elected public officials, people in the media. You've embarrassed them. Live with that. I don't know if those relationships can be repaired. You become toxic in your own workplace. Your career future is uncertain at very best. It was really on a rocket ship to success, and now you've turned yourself into riches to rags. And it's so unfortunate. Your very name has become an adverb for lying. And I cannot imagine what could be worse than that. People talk about situations where somebody's lying and trying to manipulate and maneuver a story, and your name comes up. Says, pulling a Jussie, something like that. That's awesome. You're the butt of jokes. Comedians. Mainstream talk show hosts.
And he's telling the truth. I'm sorry, he's telling the truth.
They make jokes about you. They do sketches about you. I can't imagine anything worse than that. No, this is all self-inflicted. These are things you did to yourself. This is self-damage. Well, some people may think that what you did is funny, and that there's some room for humor or jokes about it. But I assure you, this court does not. I don't think there's anything funny at all about hate.
Just fast forward up a little bit for you.
I've heard. It's been talked about. Scary sentence. We deprecate the seriousness of the offense. And need to go to the penitentiary. The record is clear, and it would support it. But I'm looking at everything in its totality. And I agree. It's told to me today. You can't judge everybody by one bad thing they've done in their life. I don't know if it's the only bad thing, but it's the only bad thing that I'm concerned about now. And that you do have quite a record of real community service and quite a record of attaching with people. There is a lot of mitigation in this case as well.
Yeah.
And I'm mindful of the pleas of mercy, particularly from people that are in the arena of dealing with social justice issues, that are fighting, seriously fighting, not playing around, not doing games like you were doing, but seriously fighting for matters involving hate crimes of all sorts. And they're asking you for mercy as well. York and Los Angeles, you can do those things. You will pay restitution.
Now he's telling him he can go back and forth to New York and stuff. He's an actor. Of course, he has to work. You know, he's still an actor. Fuck that. He still work. He got to work. So he's telling him he can go back and forward. So he knows he's finna get some shit, but he don't know exactly what he finna get. But here you go. He finna go. It's finna happen.
To the city of Chicago, in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine. And you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail. And that will start today, right here, right now. Mr. Smollett, so the jury found you guilty, and I sentence you as I have. You have the right to appeal the findings and rulings of the court, or ask your sentence to be modified. To do those things, you need to file a notice of appeal in writing within 30 days. You may also file a motion to modify your sentence, which have to be filed in writing within 30 days. Anything not stated in those filings are waived for purposes of appeal. You cannot afford lawyers or transcripts. They would be provided free of charge. Do you have any questions?
Here you go.
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay. Mr. Uche, let me inquire, are there any post-sentencing motions you care to present right now?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Widow.
The defense would wish to present a motion to.
Now, you saw it. Y'all saw it. What did you expect? Yes, you did, because you lied. You point blank lied, and then you could have got these boys sent to jail and deported. No one's looking at that fact that 2 other people's lives have been messed up too. They could have went to jail. They could have for real went to jail. Like, seriously. They could have lost everything, went to jail, been deported back. It's other 2 people that was messed up in this situation. And see, that's the arrogance. I'm going to link the whole entire thing below. Please watch it, because it's something. Especially the ending part of the sentencing is at the ending part. I'll put the minute mark when the sentencing starts, and you can watch the entirety. But yeah, it's sad, because that's why I laugh to keep from crying, because people have actually lost their lives due to racial violence And you mean to tell me you're going to play on a hate crime? Are you serious? So it's sad. But he only got 5 months. He's in solitary confinement. He's only going to be there 2.5 months. Let's be real. Good behavior. They're not going to put him in a population. He's going to be closely monitored. Nothing is going to happen to him because they know who he is. They watch him around the clock. He's in solitary confinement, which is pretty much, being surveillance. He can't be with general population. You don't want him with general population. So who else he's supposed to be? Yes, he's by himself. Oh, well, solitary confinement, that's going to put mental anguish on him. What about the mental anguish of the people that he inflicted problems on? And it's only 2.5 months. This will be a good time for him to get him a book, get him some paper, start writing about his experience, because he's gonna write a book, make some money, and you know what I'm saying, he's gonna, this too shall pass. But he just made a mockery of himself, and he didn't have to go to the lengths that he did. He's already a very talented young man, already had so much going for him, but you did some shit over a lie that didn't even have to be told. So he's ideally going to do 2.5 months in there. He has access to phones. He has access to lawyers. He has access to call his family. So it's not like he's being given the real Cook County jail treatment up in there. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He's still being protected and everything. So, but this is going to teach him a lesson. Don't lie. Stop lying. You don't have to lie. You do not have to lie. For what? And at that time, I ain't gonna lie, I had all the little Empire CDs. I was riding down my block beating it. I was. If it ain't about the money, if it ain't nothing but about the power. I was beating that shit. I was beating it until he did that. I'm like, God damn. Why would you do that, bruh? I liked you. And it's like, man, and then it also, in effect, taking the jokes away from it, it makes real hate crimes look bad. Because honestly, not too long after he did this stunt, another woman did it. And she said, oh, someone attacked me. Oh my God, they hurt me. And it wasn't true. They had video surveillance to show that no one was around her. She lied to get attention. She lied and could have potentially put someone in jail fitting the description that she gave. So it can hurt someone. So again, he got 30 months probation, 150 days in jail, which he only going to do 2.5 months in jail. And he's being watched in surveillance. He has to pay, of course, the $120,000 and plus $25,000, so about $125,000 back to Chicago for the manpower that we lost during that time. Like I said, manpower that should be going towards these missing women on the streets, going towards unsolved murders on the streets of Chicago. But they stopped everything and even gave him a name of a heater and put him on the spotlight. So we're going to end this broadcast for today. Please don't forget to check out my podcast on all streaming networks called Mayday Mayhem Podcast, where you'll get a real in-depth and I get a little bit more vocal about certain topics and other ideas. Please don't forget to check out, of course, my makeup videos and my murder mysteries, where I talk about murders that are still a mystery and some that have been solved and some that are in the progress of being solved. So please check me out. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly do. Make sure you do better today than you did yesterday and strive for a better tomorrow today. And I'm going to see y'all next time on another Mayday Mayhem podcast, mystery, or stream.